Cheers, everyone. Dave Brown here with the New Populist. Thank you again for joining me. In today's video, I do want to cover the elections in Taiwan. Of course, the last year, tensions between the United States and China have been escalating because of Taiwan. So people were looking at this election as a choice for the Taiwanese. Will you pick a candidate that wants to pursue that policy of independence, or would you pick a candidate that is less aggressive on this front and supports more talks with China? So that's how a lot of people in the West were viewing this election. And certainly within Taiwan, that's also the case as well. Now, looking at your electoral process in Taiwan, one thing I do appreciate as an American is the simplicity. You have no absentee voting, no early voting, no proxy voting, no electronic voting. Your ballots are counted by hand. They are publicly displayed for scrutiny before being counted. A very simple process that I would submit cuts down on the possibility of malfeasance. Now, here in the United States, 2020 was a disaster, and I guarantee you 2024 is not going to be much better. Here in my state of Maryland, I've gotten a letter from the Board of Elections where I can choose to vote by mail in 2024. And when you have millions of ballots in the mail, you do wonder how safe and secure your elections are. So good on you guys in Taiwan. You guys have a very simple system, although for dual citizens that can be rough. There were people flying to Taiwan from the United States just to vote in the election. So except for that issue, that's also obviously very costly. Your election system is straightforward and seems to be the way to go. Now, heading into this election, the polling, this election, there were three contenders. Sometimes there's two, sometimes there's three, depending on who qualifies. And in this election, the Taiwan People's Party qualified to have a candidate run. And the polling showed that the party in charge right now, the Democratic Progressive Party, was ahead in the polling, being trailed by the Kuomintang and the Taiwan People's Party. Now, the Democratic Progressive Party, they are pro-independence, and the Kuomintang, they want more, conciliation toward China, more talks, and the Taiwan People's Party is sort of, middle ground too, where they don't want to be so aggressive in pursuing independence, and they want, more dialogue with China. So that was the polling going in, and here are the results. Well, the DPP did win, and Taiwan does not have a runoff, so you can win the elections with less than the majority. And here the DPP had 40%. Now, my question to the Taiwanese, I'm an American, so I don't know how things work really internally in your country as far as all the little small things that we're not going to see here in the U.S. Who did the third party candidate from the Taiwan People Party? Who do you think he took votes from? If it were just the Democratic Progressive Party versus the Kuomintang, what would have happened? Would the results have been the same? I'm curious to know. Leave a comment. Let me know, because I do wonder what would have happened if this was a two-horse race. And when you look at the other results of the election, too, the DPP lost a lot of seats, whereas the Kuomintang gained seats. Now, there's no party with the majority, but the Kuomintang, they do have 52 seats, more than the Democratic Progressive Party. So I think that's interesting. You have the results of the elections for the president, but then you have results for the parliament, and they aren't exactly aligned with one another. Now, how did the Chinese react to this news? Pretty predictable. Here's what they said. Reuters, in the run-up to the election, China denounced Lai, and that is the head of the, or a guy running for the Democratic Progressive Party, as a dangerous separatist and called on the people of Taiwan to make the right choice, while noting the extreme harm of the DPP's Taiwan independence line. They have also repeatedly rebuffed Lai's calls for talks. China's Taiwan Affairs Office struck a gentler tone in its response to the Lai's election and did not mention him by name, saying that the results reveal that the DPP cannot represent the mainstream public opinion on Taiwan. Our stance on resolving the Taiwan question and realizing national reunification remains consistent, and our determination is as firm as a rock, it said. However, it added, China will work with relevant political parties, groups, and people from Taiwan to boost exchanges and cooperation and advance the peaceful development of cross-strait relations, as well as the cause of national reunification. I hope I pronounced that right, the name there. I apologize if I didn't. I'm not sure if that's Lai or Lay. I'm sure you guys can tell me. But that was China's response. And as an American, how do we look at this? What does this mean for us? Well, clearly the United States supported the DPP. But as far as further tensions in the area, it is also an election year in the United States, and it's going to get crazy. It's already started, it's already crazy now. It's just going to get crazier. And when elections are, about to happen, our focus, our foreign policy, what we're doing is going to change a bit. We are not winning the war in Ukraine. We have the conflict between the Hamas and Israel. And now we are bombing the United States and the UK. We're bombing the Houthis in Yemen, who have blocked the Red Sea. So we have a lot going on. And I think because of all these, all these wars going on in the Middle East, Ukraine, Russia, and it being an election year, I think the foreign policy establishment, the State Department in the United States, is not going to inflame things in Taiwan this year. I think they're going to want things to cool off because we got a lot to handle here, and we can only handle so many problems at one time. So I think for the next year, I think Taiwan will take a back seat for the United States, and things will sort of just stay fairly steady. And then after the election, depending on who wins, everything could change. So short term, not a big issue for the United States, not much to happen. We'll just have to wait to see who wins the election in November 2024 to see if China, U.S., and Taiwanese tensions get worse, and if we go back to this posture of aggression, both countries, China and the United States, that could possibly lead to some sort of confrontation. Hopefully not. We'll have to see. This election here in the United States is very, very important. And I do believe that Donald Trump, despite all his flaws, represents the best possibility for the United States and China to have talks. Xi Jinping, Trump, they did communicate. There was mutual respect. And I think Trump gives us the best chance for hopefully continuing peace in that area and not a direct conflict, because that would, again, be absolutely catastrophic. Well, that's it for now. If you are new to my channel, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.